Boom, what's going on, guys? So some people have asked me what car I drive, and in today's video I'm going to tell you about it. So I drive a 2006 Ford Taurus SE, not to be confused with the SEL variant, as I do not have that variant. I have the SE variant. And fun fact about this car is it was actually my grandmother's car, and when she passed away, we got the title transferred into my name, and she gave me her car before she passed. And yeah, so the car is very sentimental to me in that way, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, to be completely honest with you. I'll probably drive it until it goes out. I've had it for about a year and a half now, been driving it, and it's been great. This car has been described as not a performer, but bulletproof, and that is very true. The engine in this car, which I'll get to under the hood in a minute, is a 3.0 liter V6 engine. It is a Vulcan engine, and like the original engine design is like from like the 1990s or something like that, and it's just been slightly modified throughout the years and improved upon up until they stopped using it in this car, which I want to say was in 2007, but I could be wrong on that. And yeah, so I'll do a little walk around here. I have it tuned up a good bit. I've been taking care of it. I keep it really clean. There's a little bit of sun damage here, but from far away, can't even really see that. But that was like that when I got the car, unfortunately. Wish I could replace those trims around the windows. And this is a view of it around. I've got the windows tinted on it. These are new tires. A lot of the stuff on the car is new. All the lights on the car are fully LED lights. There are no original lights in the car. I swapped all of those out with LEDs just for the better brightness and overall better, less power usage was my main thing with it. Because the least power they take, the better, as far as my battery and the alternator and everything with the power system. And just going around trying to block that sun out there. Full view. Again, all the windows are tinted. New wiper blades. A lot of the stuff on it is new. Even under the hood, almost everything has been changed recently within the past year, because a lot of the stuff started dying on the car. My grandmother didn't drive it too much, but once I got the car and started using it for work every day, obviously using it means things are going to start going out. And a lot of the stuff was original, and we had to get that replaced. But yeah, I've also got a sun visor on it. Probably won't get through everything in the video. I've done a lot to the car, but I've got a sun visor on it that goes down 6 inches. That helps with the sun, so I don't have to use the flap down manual ones on the inside. And yeah, I'll show a quick interior of the car from the side and from the passenger side and the driver's side. Here's the interior, full cotton seats, and yeah, really clean on the interior. Kind of get in the car here, zoom out as best I can, let the camera focus. Here's the inside of the car. Again, really clean interior. There's the gauges, have your usual RPM, engine temp, coolant temp, and gas, and of course your speed, mile per hour, and yeah, your usual stuff. I have an aftermarket insert here for my stereo. It's a Sony stereo. Can't tell you exactly which one. I think it's an MEX N5 5200 BT or something like that. Whatever it is, it's right here. If it'll focus, camera. I don't know if you could see that, but focused a little bit. But yeah, that's the stereo I've got in it. Stereo performs great. Yeah, but again, this thing here is aftermarket. Took a factory stuff out, replaced it with this. Had the wires run all the way to the back of the car, because in this particular car, the amp for the sound system is in the trunk. So that's where we put the new amp and wired that in. Show that to you in a minute. Yeah, so that's pretty much the interior. Basic stuff for a 2006 Ford Taurus. Not too much in here has been changed. Of course, the LED lights up there. Again, all the lights in the car are now LED. Nothing is original anymore. Changed all that out for power and brightness. And yeah, that's the seats. That's everything. I'll show you the back right quick. Oh, of course, I've got a little phone holder. I put my phone there, and it links right to the stereo automatically. So sit the phone there, link it to the stereo, bam, got a little holster for the phone. I can drive and not have to worry about touching the phone or anything. And of course, this uses Google Assistant as well, so it's all voice control. No manual touching to avoid any kind of phone usage while driving the car, because that would be bad. Don't do that. Don't text and drive. Don't do any of that. Bad. Go around to the back side here. Yeah, not too much going on in the back. I have a tool chest that I keep in my car in case any kind of breakdowns or anything. I keep a tool chest, got all the basic essential tools in there for fixing minor or sometimes major things, depending on what breaks if you're on the highway and you get stranded. Here, over on this side, is every kind of coolant I could possibly need. I've got antifreeze, I've got a thing of water, I've got oil, I've got power steering fluid, brake fluid, everything. I've got a funnel, I've got spare towels, I've even got a spare belt in case something goes wrong with the belt. I've got anything I could possibly need that I would be able to fix on the highway if something were to break in there. Of course, keep the towel on it, that way, no one steals anything. In case, they don't know what it is, they probably won't break in to steal it. Yeah, so that's the car. Oh, what is that? A little bit of something up there. Gotta clean that, didn't even see that. Don't know how that got there, but yeah, that's the interior. I think it's pretty nice. Like I said, I keep the car up. I keep everything in here nice. This is a 2006 car, so maintenance on it is a thing that needs to be done, and just keeping it up is also a thing. Again, no interest in buying a new car because this car is very sentimental for the reason I stated earlier in the video. That's the back windshield. Of course, the defroster back there works. The back windshield is also tinted. Fun fact, the back windshield is actually the darkest window in the car. It's 80%. Back windshield's 80%. These here are 60%. The front two windows are actually 40%, and the very front visor is limo. So just cool thing about the tint. I've got different shades for the different windows for legal reasons here in the state. Hop out here, and that's one last quick look of the inside. Bam. So then just coming around the back, you can see how dark that is, that 80% on the back. Again, there's that SE. Let me show you the amp setup I've got for the stereo. So for my stereo in this car, I use these Memphis speakers in the front, and then on both sides. These are not factory speakers, these are Memphis replacements. Got the trunk popped, popped the back area, the trunk. Look back here, I've got a football, never know when you want to play football. I've got some gloves, just in case, never know when you need gloves. I have some really heavy duty jumper cables and the instructions for them. I don't need the instructions, but I keep it anyway. Let me get you guys a back view. And also a spare tire. I also have a donut that is under here, which I could probably show. You can see the donut under there, and I've got the jack under there as well. But this spare tire is so I have two spare tires. I not only have the donut, but I also have a full-size spare tire, just in case, you never know. So basically I could blow two tires on the road, and I would be able to fix those and get back on the road pretty quickly. And this is the amp that I have for the sound system. I want to say it is a, let's see, honestly I want to say it's a 500 watt or 520 watt max amp. So that's of course the max power, that's not the RMS on it for the output, but it works great for my little speakers because again, I've only got those two speakers in the front, and then I have two 6x9s actually that are actually mounted up here for the back. So the two speakers in the front, and then the 6x9s are in the back under this padding here. So 6x9 is here and a 6x9 is there, and those are also Memphis 6x9s. And then here is where the amp and all the stereo stuff runs through from the front, and it goes through there, and then it goes through under the seat, and then of course wraps all the way around under to the front of the car. So yeah, that's the amp I have for the highs. My speakers. I don't have a bass. Haven't been interested in it. I would have to add another amp if I wanted to do a bass, or a sub, I should say. And yeah, just no interest in the sub right now. This plays great just by itself. Those Memphis speakers are amazing. This amp's amazing. No need for anything else. I just don't want to spend the money, and it's just a bunch of more work and money for no real reason. So yeah, that's what I've got going on back here. Go ahead and close this up. Okay, so now I'm going to go around to the hood, show you guys what's under the hood. I have some stuff modified under here. Oh, these headlights are also LED on both sides. And of course I've got my little eagle guy on the front. Got to have the American Eagle. And yeah, so these are full LED headlights, both the blinkers and the headlight itself. Now one thing, just in case you have a car like this, the headlights on here, when we put the LEDs, they were kind of doing a weird flicker, and that's because on this car the headlights are on all the time. They never go off. As soon as you start the car, the headlights are on like a low power mode, but they're on, and that kind of affected the LEDs. So we had to add a couple of resistors on each side, the guys who did the job on these lights, and the resistors fixed the flashy blinky weirdness that was happening. And yeah, the headlights also have a full on mode. That's aside from the all the time on mode, and when you hit this, it'll turn the headlights on all the way. And I could probably show that right quick. I think they're on. Can't see it, of course. It's the sun is beaming right on them, but yeah. Turn that off. So yeah, okay. So under the hood, this is where things get a little bit interesting. Let me get this guy opened up. Hold on a second here. Ooh. Okay. Whew. So this is what I've got going on under the hood. I keep the engine bay really clean. I clean this every time I wash the car. I clean under here. I keep all that stuff just wiped clean and good to go, because the cleaner the engine is, the better it performs. So I keep a little note here of the things that we've done. Like, we recently changed the water pump and we did a tune-up on it back in September. Yeah, I've got this jug replaced here with a new jug, because the original jug was getting all, you know, discolored and just overall discoloring, not able to really see the coolant level clearly, and all the stuff like that. This alternator is fairly new. This power steering pump is fairly new. Let's see, the AC compressor on here is pretty new. We just changed that. The belt tensioner on here is new. The idler pulley on here is new. The water pump on here is also new. We just changed that with a Murray water pump, and the hoses are also new. All the hoses for the coolant system got changed. I also recently, when we did the tune-up, we put all platinum tip spark plugs in it, original Motocraft brands, and we added some high performance spark plug wires, as well as an MSD ignition coil for the ignition coil. So definitely some little bit of aftermarket upgrades to the engine there. We also added a K&N, I recently did this, added a K&N air filter. I replaced the paper air filter with that K&N one, and not only does it offer better airflow for the engine and more airflow, but it's also washable, so you never have to replace it. You just wash it, let it dry, re-oil it, and put it back in. So yeah, again, this engine is that 3.0 liter V6 engine, the Vulcan engine, and yeah, it's got about 100 and, I want to say, probably for me, because of the aftermarket cables, wires, and the ignition coil and the air filter, I want to say it probably has about 163 to 165 horsepower. So again, definitely not a performer, but this car is bulletproof. It's been through a lot and it's still running great. So yeah. Oh, also this little engine mount part here, we changed this because it was kind of getting a little bit damaged in there. It was getting old and dry rot, so we replaced that too. Want to have that fresh. So a lot of stuff's been changed. This is a new battery. We did some battery cable stuff on it. New battery cables, coated them with electric tape, and we also added some dielectric grease on both sides to keep water out of the terminals. That way corrosion and whatnot like that stays away from the battery terminals, because you definitely don't want that. All the fuses are new. Yeah, there's probably more than that I'm missing, but a lot of the stuff under this hood here is new. And yeah, it's really clean looking. The brakes in the back are also new. Those got changed pretty recently. The brakes in the front haven't been changed since I got the car, because they just haven't been needed to be changed. The pads are really good. They're not even halfway down on both sides, so I guess I don't use the brakes a lot, or either that or I'm just easy on the brakes to where, you know, they don't go down a lot. But yeah, so that is my car. Probably missing some things I didn't think about or I'm forgetting, but for the most part, that is the car I drive every day. I think it's pretty nice. Honestly, I would go out on a limb and say it's one of the nicer Ford Taurus 2006 SEs that exist today, because the car is about 15 or 16 years old now. And yeah, a lot of the ones I see have rusted hoods, or not rusted hoods, or rust on the top of the car, and they're either damaged, the tires are falling off, or the headlights are all yellowed out, or whatever. A lot of the cars I see that are this car are damaged and just old looking like that, whereas, you know, this one, is really nice, really clean. It's shining. Like this is my baby. It's very sentimental and I love it. Performer or not, I love it. Oh, and I know I shouldn't, but I can't help it. Whenever a Mustang pulls up on side of me, I can't help myself but to try and race them. I know I'll lose, but it's just something about it. If we're at a red light, I'll usually jump them for a split second, and then yeah, it's over with after that, because they've just got a good bit more horsepower and they're lighter, because this car is definitely not light. I think it comes in at like 3,300 pounds or something like that, so it got a little weight to it. But yeah, that is the car I drive. Of course, I keep fresh oil in it as well. Necessity. Got to do that. What am I forgetting? I think that's it. I think that's everything. I think that might be the thumbnail right there. Looks like a good thumbnail. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, checking out the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. And just want to give a quick shout out. There's a YouTuber out there named the Ragin Taurus, or the Taurus Ragin, or something like that. He's a guy. He has a Taurus just like mine. Very, very similar, if not exactly the same one, as far as the model. I think his might be a year or two older, but they're pretty much the same base design. And he's got it really tuned up and just as nice as mine is, if not maybe a little nicer. I don't know where that guy is located, but he's got a YouTube channel, of course on YouTube, and I'll have him linked in the description, just because he's a really cool guy. I've watched a lot of his videos, and yeah, I would go check his channel out, because his Taurus is definitely a performer Taurus. He's got some aftermarket exhaust stuffed on there, and probably very similar plugs and wires and coil as I do, and some just different gear ratios on the engine to make it perform a little faster, as well as some different tires. So yeah, just all kind of stuff he's done to it that's even better than my Taurus. And I have a pretty nice Taurus, if I do say so myself. So again, go check out his channel. I have it linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about the car, please feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll respond. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Oh, quick little thing I wanted to add in at the end of the video. I just thought about this. I had this clip pasted on at the end of the video, but little note: older vehicles like this one, like this engine, like everything, a lot of the newer cars are made to run on ethanol gas, or gas that has ethanol in it, and even this car is actually made to. But the thing with ethanol is when it burns, it like can, I don't know if it turns into water or it has something to do with water. It's just overall not good, especially for these older engines and this older vehicle. So what I do personally is I run 87, or not 87, 85, I forget what the gas variance is, but whatever the regular gas is in the United States, non-ethanol in my car. And the reason I do that is I simply just do not want the ethanol in my engine, and I just feel like the car runs better with non-ethanol gas in it. So that's just something that I do, and if you look that up online, you'll find that a lot of people actually say that, especially for these older vehicles. Again, the newer vehicles, like this is my mother's car here. This is a 2014, and the engine in it, I believe, is actually made to run on ethanol gas, so it can't hurt it at all. But again, for these older vehicles, it's honestly, I personally think better just to run non-ethanol gas in them, and that's what I do. Also, another thing is, I don't know if any of you know Seafoam, but I recently ran the upper air intake Seafoam through my engine because it had a little bit of a rough idle, and that completely fixed once I did that. Probably just the pistons had a little bit of carbon on them or whatever, carbon buildup inside the engine, and that Seafoam pretty much cleaned a lot of that out, and it's running way better now. Also, I usually run every 5,000 miles or so a full can of Seafoam in the gas, and then I go take the car out for a drive, maybe 50 miles there and 50 miles back, and then I of course drive the car back with the Seafoam in the gas tank and just let that run through the engine. That cleans out a lot of the fuel injectors and different things like that in the engine. And yeah, it's just good to run Seafoam through the gas. Can't hurt anything. Good for the older vehicles, and I find it helps out a lot. So just wanted to add that in.